Hi, the title of this blog is Get the Violins Out. Now, this blog was inspired from thoughts, personal thoughts, negative, toxic personal thoughts. And I come to two realizations within that train of thought. Firstly, most significantly, I realised something which is common knowledge, what is relative to previous blogs of today, that frequencies and sounds have effects. That's to be frank. And to take that a bit further, frequencies and sounds have effects on water. Now, I'm sure this is scientifically proven. And to take that a little bit further, we have the majority of our material makeup is actually water as a human being and a creature of nature. So, to take it a bit further, words are actually sounds. And sounds have frequencies. Therefore, it's logical that words have frequencies. And relative to a previous blog, and relative to a previous blog today, but relative to the blog, the cross, the swastika, and the pratika, and the 4 Fs again of the reptilian brain. Ask Siri. I don't want to deviate. That I've realised, I'm sure this is scientifically proven also, that different thoughts, emotions, feelings, words, etc. are actually processed in different parts of the brain accordingly. So, it's logical that bad words, bad sounds, bad thoughts, bad feelings are all relative. And they're all a significant effect of each other. But not to deviate, that basically using bad thoughts, bad feelings, and bad words has an adverse effect. Not only upon your physical brain, but upon your metaphysical brain. And I believe it's relative to frequencies. Now, getting back to the point of the blog, the title, Get the Violins Out, and what inspired all this. Black people, people of African origin, commonly have a major insecurity issue regarding the era of slavery, when the Caucasian somehow enslaved the more physically stronger and previously mentally and metaphysically superior. And I'll get to that. People of black skin from Africa were somehow physically enslaved and taken to other parts of the world and literally used as physical slaves, as lesser beings. Now, whether all that's true or not, that's irrelevant. Not saying that it's irrelevant on a macro scale, but for the purpose of this blog, it's alright, fair enough, that might be true. But can you not see that mentally, and for some people physically, also, we're actually living in a worse era of slavery? And as far as I can see, this slavery is not conditioned to any class what is previously recognized in society. This is a secret in slavery. And mainly, it's a mental enslavement for most people on a sociological level. Some people are physically enslaved. But I don't want to deviate, as always. And it's relative to how did a race of inferior physical genetics, not to insult anybody, how did they, all right then, I deviate a little bit. The UK, England, is geographically a small country, and so is Japan. Now, if you do your research, the British had an empire and had many colonies around the world. Now, how is it possible that a country with a smaller, inferior army in size is possible to conquer, invade, and enslave a nation, a race of bigger number in population, for example? How is that possible? You have to ask yourself this, and I'm going to answer it. That the black race must have been enslaved mentally in order to be enslaved physically. Now, this is evident, and I'm going to bring out Professor Complex for a quick minute and give you black people and you Jewish people, you Asian people, a little history lesson, and you English people, actually, a little history lesson. Well, let's start off with black history. The most significant and greatest renowned black people that I can recognize, Nelson Mandela, Marcus Garvey, Mary Seacole, and that is highly relative to the inspiration of this blog, Mary Seacole Gardens, Marcus Garvey Square. If you know, you know. If you're on it, you're on it. The last bus. Yeah, but that's another issue. I don't want to get toxic, like I just explained. Because them toxic thoughts actually have inspired me to much superior and incisive thoughts, more positive thoughts from negative thoughts. And that's actually an alchemy. Allah Akbar, it's blessed. I'm not going to start mentioning all great men, black men. Yeah, do your own research. But basically the point is, the greatest black men, and I forgot to mention the greatest black man, what I can recognize, but I will say him in a minute. I'll say that in a minute. That the greatest black men, what are renowned in history, me personally, are renowned not for their physical greatness, actually to the contrary of that, for their mental and spiritual greatness. Nelson Mandela will be recognized more in history than Idi Amin. Logic. Go figure. GF, yeah? Mary Seacole. Now this is another one where the black man get the violins out. Oh, Mary Seacole, Mary Seacole, Mary Seacole. Yeah? Without deviating again. Yeah? King Solomon was the king of biblical legend of King David's kingdom from the Holy Lands, the Middle East, Persia, Babylon, North Africa, all that. Now, King Solomon, he fell in love with Queen Sheba, and he married Queen Sheba, and I think he had 2 sons to Queen Sheba. I've got selective memory issues. Basically, the unification of King Solomon's kingdom and Queen Sheba's kingdom. Queen Sheba was the queen of Ethiopia, the capital of the world. King Solomon, therefore, through a state of matrimony, enhanced his kingdom, and therefore his rule, his power, etc. That's a great story. You know, go do your own research. Go ask Siri. King Solomon, Queen Sheba. The point is this. King Solomon and Queen Sheba, according to many historical writings, according to, you know, naming the Bible, the Torah, and maybe the Quran, King Solomon and Queen Sheba, they ruled the world. And literally, ancient buildings and King Solomon's buildings, you know, I don't know if there's any left, but pyramids, for example, we cannot lift the material blocks, what that structure is made of today. So, how the fuck did they do that? That's another block. The point is this. Black man, according to history, biblical history, ruled the world. How did the black man become a slave in America? How did that work? Ask yourself that question. And now ask yourself this question. What are you going to do about it? Yeah? And I'm going to answer that question. The black man was not great. Oh, man is not great through physical deeds alone. A man's greatness is measured in his wisdom and knowledge and his righteousness. Go figure. I think I've said enough for now. It'll probably stop recording shortly. You know what it is.